Okay, hello everyone. This is day 3 of watching our exit projects and research papers. Today I have decided to show you two research papers. I just picked the first two off of Jupyter that I had corrected or taken a look at. The first one we're going to see is by Christina from 631, Christina Huang, and this is Do Surgical Masks Work in Preventing the Spread of COVID-19? I'm going to go through this. I cannot read the entire papers today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly go through them, and I'm going to show you the different pieces and parts of the papers, and then I'm going to come back and put a little bit of my own input into them. So she starts out with the problem question. You have to do this for a research paper. There has to be a purpose behind why you're writing the paper. Materials, they're going to be about the same: computer, some research material. You're going to have a hypothesis, and it's going to have to be a testable hypothesis. Procedure, what you're going to be doing, which is for research papers, they're pretty much the same. She's providing some links here. Let's move down further. And down here, there are a whole bunch of data tables, and we start here, and we go through a couple of pages of this. And we're going to go down through. I'm going to come back, and you can look at this. And there is a graph. I believe this is from February through May. And this is total number of cases that she's providing us here. And this is the daily new cases. And the next one is active cases and total deaths. And then daily deaths. This is also up until about a couple of days ago. Then she presents her conclusion. Now keep in mind, we're used to with our conclusions. Oh, I hate when those things pop up. We're used to with our conclusions. We're used to just providing some type of support or denial for our hypothesis. But in reality, a conclusion for a paper has to be fairly comprehensive. Because with all the information you're collecting, remember, someone could someday use your research paper as part of their research paper. Okay, so I'll just read a little bit here. Based on the data collected, our hypothesis is incorrect. Same way we do it in lab. Most surgical masks that average civilians have access to, like cloth masks or surgical masks, do not properly prevent the spread of coronavirus. Even countries that had maintained protocols to COVID-19, like South Korea from MERS or Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, did not have their success in pandemic strictly because of the surgical masks in general. And she goes on to go more into this. I am going to just scroll down. I just wanted you to see the length of her conclusion discussion. I'm going to go back up. The reason I'm going to do this, I'm going to go slowly through the pages, because if you want to stop your video, you can, and take a look at this. And let me see if I can increase the size. Let me see. And I can. Okay, so we're going to go from here. If you want to stop it and read through this, some of the articles, stop it, read through this. Apparently, these are all data tables across the United States. Okay, we come down to our beginning graphs. If you want to, you can stop, take a look at that. Also here. And then I'm going to bring this up to here. Our conclusion starts here. If you want to read all of this, which I would suggest reading, and it's a good read, go through this. And I believe this is the last. So you can stop on any one of these parts of the video and take a look through. This is Christina's on spread of COVID-19. The reason I'm going through this little quick is because I will not be able to read it, and I want you to have some time to think of your own ideas rather than having me give some input. Now we're going to go to Phillips, also from 631, not COVID-19 related, which many of us are probably happy to see a research paper on geology and the age of rocks, since every time we turn on the TV, the radio, we're getting SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19. But Philip came up with, how do geologists know how old rocks are? Which is a great question. So let's take a look at what he did. Geologist, starting off the paper. Also, I would put a heading on this. Let me know who wrote this. Geologists use many different ways to determine how old a rock is. One of the ways to measure is the amount of radiation elements inside the rock. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through Phillips' paper. I'm going to scroll through, and then I'm going to come back and go through it again. So you can see he has an introduction here. And he gets into, so this is the body of it, where he talks about another way they're going to be using to determine the age of the rocks. And then finally, that's his ending or closing paragraph, and then comes into his conclusion. Okay, so I am not saying that one of these is better than the other. I want you to draw your conclusions. And so what I want you to do is, I'm going to go to the top of this. I want you to take your time to read this. I'd really like you to read both of them. I know you're going through them kind of quickly. Some of you are taking the time to read them, others are not. But I want you to really take the time. Stop the video right now. Read through this. Stop the video again. Read through this. Stop the video, read through this. And then we come to Philip's conclusion. Okay, so what I want you to do today is I want you to take some time. This video it's less than 8 minutes long. It's about 2/3 the length of videos I've been giving you. But it's because I want you to take the time to read them. Read through them. Come back with your initial impressions, whatever hits you, whatever strikes you. If this is something that you would like to do, or something that you did, or how you did it, or what you liked, what you didn't like, go through both of them and go over to your Jupyter forum for today. And again, it's being used as your attendance. Get in there and give me at least 2 comments for each one of these. 8th graders, you especially, because research papers like this, you're going to see all types in high school. And I want you to get an idea of what really you want to do when it comes down to high school life, because we're prepping you all for that. Okay, and that is about it, and wrapping it up.